Once upon a time, in the quaint village, there lived two boys who were as different as the sun and the moon. Their names were John and Luke. John, with his polished shoes and silk waistcoats, was the son of the wealthiest merchant in town. His days were filled with tutors, fine meals, and the tinkling of silver spoons against porcelain teacups. He had a room adorned with plush carpets, and his bed was so soft that it seemed to cradle him like a cloud. Luke, on the other hand, lived in a tiny cottage at the edge of the forest. His clothes were patched, and his shoes had seen better days. His father was a woodcutter, and they barely scraped by. But Luke had something that John envied, a heart as vast as the star-studded sky. One sunny morning, John spotted Luke sitting on a moss-covered rock near the brook. His bare feet dipped into the cool water, and he hummed a tune that seemed to dance with the rustling leaves. John, curious about this boy who seemed content with so little, approached him. "Hello," John said, adjusting his cravat. "I'm John. What's your name?" Luke looked up, his eyes wide and curious. "I'm Luke," he replied. "What brings you to this quiet spot?" John hesitated, then sat down beside him. "I've never seen anyone so carefree," he admitted. "You don't worry about money or fancy things?" Luke laughed, a sound like wind chimes. "Oh, I worry about things," he said, "but I've learned that happiness isn't found in gold coins or grand houses. It's in the way the sun kisses the leaves, the way the birds sing, and the stories my grandmother tells me." John frowned. "But my father says wealth is everything. It opens doors, buys respect." Luke leaned closer. "Respect isn't bought, John. It's earned through kindness, compassion, and understanding. Look around, see the flowers? They don't care if you're rich or poor, they bloom for everyone." And so, an unlikely friendship blossomed. John visited Luke's cottage, where they shared simple meals cooked over an open fire. Luke taught John to whistle tunes that echoed through the forest, and John taught Luke to read from dusty old books. One day, as they sat on the same mossy rock, John sighed. "Luke, I envy your freedom. My father expects me to take over the family business, but my heart longs for adventure." Luke grinned. "Then follow your heart, John. Life is too short for regrets. Maybe you'll find treasure beyond gold, like the laughter of children, the warmth of a campfire, or the thrill of discovering hidden paths." John thought about it. "But what about you, Luke? Don't you want more?" Luke pointed to the sky. "See those stars? Each one holds a story. My dream is to collect them all, to weave them into tales that will live forever." And so, John embarked on his adventures, sailing distant seas and climbing rugged mountains. But he always returned to village, where Luke welcomed him with open arms and a fresh batch of blueberry muffins. Years passed, and John became a renowned explorer. Yet, it was Luke who was truly rich, the keeper of stories, the friend of fireflies, and the whisperer of ancient trees. And so, in the heart of village, the sun and the moon remained inseparable, a reminder that wealth isn't measured in gold, but in the moments we share, the kindness we give, and the stories we create.